Hey guys, today I am talking about Makey Makey and Scratch and tying it to literacy. And I am showing you probably the most simple Makey Makey project you could possibly do. If you have never done a Makey Makey project or a Scratch project before, this demonstration is for you. It is not difficult, it is not complex, and your students are going to love it. So, you can see in my image here on the left that I have taken the cover of a book, Brown Girl Dreaming. If you haven't read it, highly recommend. And then I've also taken photos and attached them to the book cover. That book cover is simply glued to a piece of white foam board, something a little heavy. It could be cardboard, it could be anything as long as it's sturdy. And then you can also see beside each of my pictures that are on my board, I have a metal fastener. And then over here on the left-hand side of the board, you can see how my copper tape is wrapping around the side of the board. And I have 5 of those. You can't see the 5th one. It's behind this image here. On the right-hand side of my screen, you can see the back of my foam board. The metal fastener goes all the way through it. And then my copper tape goes across my metal fastener and then wraps around the side. Now, this right here in the middle, you can see that I have 3 metal fasteners and my tape is crossing. That is only because I want the students, when they push one of these 3 award pictures, it's going to play the same recording no matter which one they push. That's why it's crossed. Normally you wouldn't want your copper wire or your copper tape to cross because you'll get mixed signals if you have different Makey Makey cords attached to the copper wire. So normally you don't want them to cross. But in this case I did because I want them to play the same thing. Alright, so how does this look when I connect it to the actual Makey Makey? So let's take a look here. Here is my board connected to my Makey Makey. You can see the different clips attached to the copper wire. It's just clipped on the side there. And then the other end of the cords are attached to the Makey Makey board. I have 5 cords and they're attached to space, up, down, left, right arrows. And then my blue wire here is my ground wire, which I will hold when I activate the metal buttons here. So how do I make all this work? Let's take a look at Scratch. Alright, so Scratch is a completely free program for you to use. You just sign up for a free account. I'm going to start a new project. Up here in the top left of my screen, I am going to name my project. Brown Girl Dreaming, the title of the book. I also want my project to have a background or a backdrop. And so you can see here are backdrops. Right now it's white. I don't want white. I want the book cover. So I'm going to upload a backdrop. And there's my book cover. And then I would prefer not to have the little cat sprite, so I'm going to change my sprite. I'm going to click on him and I'm going to click X, and then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to choose one. I could upload my own sprite if I wanted, and which could be any image, but I'm going to just choose one from their library. There's a huge amount of sprites. You can see all the different choices that you have, but I am going to choose this key. Right, you can see it pops up right here, but it's not super visible, so I'm going to move it up here to the top of my backdrop. All right, just recently Scratch did an update, and they have made using a Makey Makey with Scratch super easy. So down in my lower left-hand corner, I'm going to click this icon, and when I do, you can see that I have a Makey Makey option here. So I'm going to click that, and once I click that, you see a Makey Makey button has been added over here on my left side panel. And I have 2 code options here. And so all I have to do is drag that over, and I'm going to do 5 chords, so I just have to do 5 commands. Whoops. And then what I want to happen is when they touch a metal fastener, I want a sound to play. So I'm going to choose my sound button here, and I'm going to do play sound on each one. And I could have put these together and just duplicated them, but I'm just dragging them over because it's so simple. All right, I don't want it to play a pop though when they touch the metal fastener. I want it to actually play a recording. And what I did is I recorded conversations, or I recorded me talking about the book, giving a synopsis, talking about the theme. I downloaded a recording of Jacqueline Woodson reading a part of the book. And so what I need to do is connect those sounds to my code. So you can see the 3 tabs up here, code, costume, sounds. I'm going to click the sound tab. You can see there's my pop, but I'm going to go down to this little blue button here, and I'm going to upload my sound. It's going to take me a second to put these in. I wish it would let me do it all at once, but I don't think it's going to let me select more than one. You could try. Nope. So I have 5 sounds that I recorded, and I just used QuickTime because I'm on a Mac to do an audio recording. You could use Vukaroo is another one that you could quickly use. There are free online voice recorders besides Vukaroo that are super easy to use. It doesn't matter which one. All right, so there they all are. I'm going to get rid of the pop, and there are my 5. So I'm going to go back to my code tab. When spacebar is clicked, I want it to play the author actually reading. So I'm going to choose that one. Then I'm going to choose this to the up arrow. And when the up arrow or that metal fastener is tapped, I want it to play the synopsis. And then the down arrow, I want it to play the author information. And the right arrow, I want it to talk about the 3 awards that the book has won. And then finally, the left arrow. And when it does the left arrow, I want it to talk about the theme of the book. All right, so I think I have all 5 covered, and they're all tied to this one sprite. So once the Makey Makey is connected to the board, then all the students have to do is press the metal fastener, and it will read the appropriate recording. And here's a sample.
My name is Jacqueline Woodson, and I'm going to be reading from my memoir in verse, Brown Girl Dreaming. This piece is called Miss Bell and the Marchers.
All right, so you can see how that works once it's connected. Now, you can record your sounds directly in Scratch. Let me show you what that looks like. The reason I don't typically do that is because once it's recorded, if you record in Scratch, then that's just where it lives, and you can't use it for anything else. So I like to make my recordings outside of Scratch, so I have the file. I can use it in other projects if I want. I just find that easier to do. But if I wanted to record in Scratch, then I drag my sound over, and instead of selecting one, I hit the record button. It's going to ask me for permission to use my microphone, and then all I have to do is click this, this is a test, and click the stop button. I can
Do is click.
play to see what it sounds like. If I would like it, I can save it. If not, I can re-record. If I don't want to use that at all, I just make it go away and it cancels it. And so there it is. I don't want this one, so I'm going to drag it back over here and get rid of it. And really, that's all there is to it. Once you write this, you just plug your Makey Makey into your computer, have this code up and going. Here's my project page, and it works. Students can have an interactive book report or an interactive book cover. All right, thanks. Hope you enjoy. Bye.